the night walkers. Dave Adair stood at the edge of the construction site, watching the sun peek over the Appalachian Mountains. Something wasn't right at Blackberry Falls Estate. The morning fog clung low to the earth, but through its veil he could see them. Every piece of equipment, every tool his crew had left behind yesterday, arranged in perfect geometric patterns across the red clay earth. His grandmother's voice echoed in his mind. Asqua, there are places where the old ones still walk, places we don't build upon. He'd smiled then, patted her hand, told her those were just stories. The company needed this contract. The tribe needed the jobs. But now, staring at the precise circles of hammers, the triangles of sawhorses, he wasn't so sure. Senor Adair? Manuel, his best excavator operator, jogged up to him. You need to see this. In the wet concrete they'd poured yesterday, a trail of small, bare footprints led to the center and vanished. Child-sized, but too perfect, too deliberate. They formed a spiral. Kids sneaking in again? Dave asked, not believing it himself. The security fence was untouched, and the concrete had been liquid less than 8 hours ago. Manuel crossed himself. My boy, he told me last week he played with native children here. Small ones. I thought he meant from the reservation school, but... He hesitated. They only come at sunset, he said, and their feet don't touch the ground. Dave's phone buzzed. Another text from his grandmother. Come to dinner, Asqua. We must talk. But I won't cross that shadow you're standing in. By midday, the strange footprints were torn up, new concrete poured. Dave buried himself in paperwork, ignoring the whispers among his crew about singing at dusk, about tools that moved when no one was looking. He had deadlines, investors waiting, until they found the cave. The excavator's blade had barely scraped it when Manuel shut down the machine, refusing to go further. On the cave's walls, ancient petroglyphs seemed to shift in Dave's flashlight beam, small figures dancing around larger ones. As he photographed them, a child's laugh echoed from the darkness. No one would work past sunset after that. No one except Dave, who stayed late reviewing old survey maps. That's when he found the photograph. His great-grandfather, standing proud in traditional dress, pointing to this exact plot of land. The English caption below, not for building. Sacred to the little people. The final incident came during the night pour. They had to finish the foundation under floodlights or risk losing the contract. The power failed first, plunging them into darkness. When the backup generators kicked in, Dave found his crew scattered, confused. We were only walking to the truck, they said. But we couldn't find it. It was like the night swallowed us. That's when Dave saw them. Between one floodlight and the next, small shadows darted. Child-sized, but wrong. Ancient faces, eyes too knowing, movements too fluid. They led his men in circles, through impossible mazes made of their own equipment. Time stretched like taffy. One night became many, became none. In the darkness, Dave saw himself as a child, sitting at his grandmother's feet as she spoke the old stories. The small figures danced closer. Their faces were masks of clay and starlight, their songs the whispers of forgotten things. Asqua, they called him, his secret name. Bridge builder. Choose. The investors found him at dawn, standing in the middle of the construction site. Every piece of equipment was parked in a perfect circle around the cave entrance, every tool laid down in signs of protection. We'll have to redesign, Dave told them. Build around this section. Leave it green. He lost the contract, lost the bonus, kept his soul. Now he sits at his grandmother's table every Sunday, teaching his daughter the old words while she plays in the garden. Sometimes in the evening light, small shadows dance at the forest's edge. His daughter waves to them. His grandmother smiles. And if the tools in his garage sometimes arrange themselves in perfect circles overnight, well, that's just the way of things when you learn to build bridges between worlds. Because the Nightwalkers remember those who remember them, and some boundaries were never meant to be crossed, only respected.